Or can we hold on to the memory of the love that we shared? Do you remember what it felt like? I need you back in my life.
Hello, music lovers! Welcome to Effervescent Sounds. This is a place for you to discover emerging artists that are making a buzz in London. Each episode introduces one artist through a live session of an original song and an interview. I am Matheus Piovesan, your host all the way from Brazil to London. And before we kick off the show, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel and like the video because this helps to trigger the algorithm and take this content further and further. So our guest of the day is the British singer-songwriter Stefan Mahendra. 3 years ago, he was a contestant in the TV show The Voice UK, and since then he has been releasing his own music, which has a modern take on R&B with influences of Motown, gospel, and soul music. And now he's part of an effervescent music scene of new soul that is thriving right now in London. And he has already collaborated with artists like Jackson Mayford, Fika, and EDBL. Welcome to the show, Stefan.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So I'm so glad to have you here. For those who doesn't know your music, how would you describe your sound? Can you pick some artists that are similar to you?
So my favorite artists are Donny Hathaway, Marvin Gaye. I love D'Angelo, John Legend, all those kind of people. Like, they just hit my soul. I love it. I remember like listening to their music when I was growing up, and even when I was a kid, I used to listen to like old gospel songs, and it's just something about that kind of music that really, like, I felt it in my heart.
When I listen to your music, I feel in mine, and I feel like in my my arms as well. It's like goosebumps, like woo!
Oh, that's good.
So
That's
good. So
That's
good, man.
I'm glad.
3 years ago, you were a contestant in The Voice UK. How important in your career was to be part of The Voice UK?
I think it was a really important part of my career. I loved like every minute of the show. I would definitely recommend it. The Voice has done a lot of good things for me. So one of them is it really helped my Instagram and my social media grow. The other thing that really helped was people started booking me for their, parties and their people getting married and everything. It was, it helped with work a lot.
Talking about private parties, like I've seen that recently you've been to Spain, to Dubai, and even like to New York. Have you imagined that your gift, your talent, your voice would take you so far in helping you to go and meet different cultures?
I honestly count myself lucky every day to travel anywhere for music. I think it's like, for me, traveling is one of the most important things of life, and experience other cultures and seeing how other people live. It's just so important to me. And to be able to go and, work and sing for people's weddings. And I think it's a beautiful job. And I'm very lucky to do it.
Stefan, you're part of a new soul music scene that is making a buzz in London right now, and you are linked to artists that I admire a lot, like Fika, EDBL. And I want to know you, like, do you think it's easier to thrive when you're part of a scene, or do you think it's better when you kind of like go against the trends and do something totally different?
It was quite lucky that I became part of that scene, because I remember chatting to Ed Black, EDBL, and I was like, oh, like, do you want to just go for a coffee? and that was the first time we met. And I was like, oh, I know you're so busy with music and everything, but like, if you would want to, like, we could do a session one day. Like, I would really like to work with you. And he was like, yeah, sure. And then we went to the session, and it was the song that I played for you guys today, All Right. And he was like, yeah, I want to help you produce this. And so we did that song, and then it became a song that we released. And I think the first step is always just like meeting people and see how you get on. Before, I was doing it by myself, and it was quite difficult to collaborate with other people because nobody really knew like who I was or who I'd worked with, or it was very difficult to have sessions with people. But now I've kind of worked my way in a few groups, and it's really, really helped a lot.
So you would recommend like other musicians and like independent musicians to start connecting with each other a little bit more to make their way through?
Yeah, definitely. I think collaboration with other artists is so, so important. And I only realized that like a year and a half ago. And I wish I'd done it earlier because it's helped me grow so much. Just like learning from other people, how they write, how they produce, how they songwrite and everything. It's just so valuable to absorb that information. And it's a lot easier as well. It's like it takes the weight off you writing a whole song, producing a whole song. And, you know, if you share ideas, they'll bring something to the table that you might not have thought of before.
Stefan, since the name of this show is Effervescent Sounds and we are here presenting new artists to new audience, I want to ask you a recommendation of an artist that is making a buzz and that you would like more spotlight on.
I went to see an artist called Matt Ryan. I'm not really into, I'd say, like pop rocky kind of stuff. His sound was like very Coldplay, U2 influenced. But I went to see it and I was blown away at like how good he was. I would 100% recommend everyone to check him out. He's called Matt Ryan. He's amazing. And then also I just think fika as well. I think more people need to know about fika and the music that they're making, like as the duo themselves, but also with other artists. I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that's coming. Ed Black's already creating quite a big buzz, but I would say Ed Black as well.
I'm a huge fan of fika. I've seen them recently live and I'm like, oh my gosh, finally, you are so good. Ed Black, like everybody that he connects with, whenever there's a song that he produced, I'm like, gosh, I need to jump into this new artist because just amazing singers.
Yeah, see, that's how like important connection is, because he's just got so many tracks with so many different amazing artists.
So Stefan, I'm gonna ask you some questions related with pop culture and I want your recommendations as well. Is that all right?
All right.
The best music documentary that you've seen recently?
I just finished the first part to the Kanye West documentary, and I think that's the best one I've seen recently. I had like a image of Kanye West before I saw the documentary, and I maybe wasn't the best image, but I watched it and I was like, oh, like he said a lot of things that a lot of people disagree with, and maybe he shouldn't have said, but I watched it and I was just like blown away by his hunger and his passion, like to just keep going. Like so many people told him no, like every time, and he just kept going. And I was like, wow, that is like heart. Like I love seeing that. So I'd say that's the best one I've seen.
I haven't watched it, and I think like Kanye West is like quite controversial as well. I'm like, oh, whenever like he's involved in something, like, oh my gosh, maybe I'll go like the opposite way. But but he's very talented.
He's very, very talented. And I think even if you know you have an opinion of him before, and even if your opinion doesn't change afterwards, I think everyone will respect like how hard he worked to get to where he is.
A festival with a lineup that never disappoints.
I would say Love Supreme Festival. They've always got the best like jazz, soul, R&B acts.
How about a podcast that you listen to that gives food to your brain?
I don't listen to many podcasts, but when I do listen to a podcast, I listen to ones that are like motivating and not necessarily about music or anything, just like that just motivate you and get you like hyped. And it's usually someone talking with like dramatic music in the background, like get up in the morning, you know, like do your thing. And it's just, I don't know, it's quite funny.
And then you answer to it like, oh yes, okay, if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying so, I'm gonna do it.
Exactly. All I need is Morgan Freeman to tell me to do it, and I'm going to do it. So
Amazing, amazing. Stefan, thank you very much for this conversation. It was amazing. It was a pleasure to having you here performing. All right. If you could share your socials with everyone else, please do it.
So my Instagram is at Stefan Mahendra Music. Facebook is Stefan Mahendra. Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on the show. Like, I've really enjoyed every minute of it. And yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. And for those who aren't following us, it's Effervescent Sounds. You can go on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Go and follow, give us a like, because we are here to help to support emerging artists like Stefan to take their work further and further. So yeah, thank you very much and see you next time, guys.
See you next time.
Yes. We don't have a perfect kind of love. We don't always see eye to eye. If you move a little closer, I can turn back the time for us. Don't you know I waited so long you to come home to me, darling. It'll be alright in the morning. It'll be alright in the morning. I'm alone and I lost my way. So if you come back home to me, this is where you're supposed to be. Never ever have to leave. Your love is all I need. It'll be alright in the morning. It'll be alright in the morning. It should have never come to this now, girl. Don't wanna be without your kiss now, darling. Oh, can we hold on to the memory
remember what it felt